What's up, y'all? King Ghost, I'm back. And I just wanted to take a look at this right here. There have been a lot of talk and controversy over really two things. One, what we consider culture, right? And the other one, these kids doing these takeovers, right? So, my question to you as an audience and to myself is really just if you can organize a takeover, then you are actually a builder. And that is my message for anybody that is young that sees this video. Again, if you can organize a takeover, you are actually a builder, right? Um, but let's take a look at some clips here and we'll just react.
Another so-called teen takeover happened in downtown Detroit over the weekend. Viewer video shows a group of kids running after someone Saturday night, seemingly going for his backpack. We're told that's not the only spot teens were spotted causing chaos. Detroit police have not been sharing any information about the incident as of this morning. Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield and her administration are now working directly with teens in the city to find ways and places for them to safely and responsibly spend their time. This includes midnight basketball leagues, rec centers, and weekly programming during the summer months.
This is something that I personally was going to, well, that we are going to talk about in this video, because remember I said, if you can organize a takeover, you are actually a builder, right? So we keep seeing these takeovers, large groups, same type of places, same kind of time, cards, crowds, chaos, and then all of a sudden there's like, oh, he's reaching for his backpack, or somebody gets jumped, or they see the ops and they feel like they got to slide on somebody, right? Um, People will automatically call this type of behavior out of control, right? And then you scroll through a comment section and you see nothing but racism, right? Usual suspects. Boy, I feel fatigued. I guess they let the animals out the zoo, right? That kind of thing doesn't help at all. All it does is add to a stereotypical narrative that we have been years and years away from. Accountability on all sides is what we actually need, right? So for the young out there, right, Uncle Ken is going to tell you like it is, right? The ghost isn't going to lie to you. You just can't go around doing whatever you want unless you're ready to have those accountability. You know what I mean? If you're going to say you're going to be 10 toes, then when the repercussion comes, you got to stay 10 all the way. You feel me? This ain't GTA, it's real life. It's not an NBA YoungBoy music video. It's real life. But my real question is this. I want to know, and if I use my mouse here, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? See all these adults here? All these adults. You. My man with the beard. This fella right here. We need names. We need names of all these people, right? And as other adults, we need to keep all of these people accountable. Because if they're going to stand up and say they're going to do something, right, it's our responsibility as other adults to say, hey, we're going to make sure that whatever we can do to give you resources, we will. Because let's just face it, kids are bored. They're super bored. And in order for us to reframe the narrative from being out of control, we need to turn it into being organized.
Police video from a chaotic scene last Sunday at Bayshore Mall in Glendale. Look at that. It's dashcam video showing officers arriving to break up a large fight during a so-called teen takeover at Bayshore. This was organized on social media. As soon as police arrived, though, all of those folks started to scatter.
Oh, you're so tough. You can run. You're so tough. You want to run. Huh? That's what you're doing? You want to run?
Police eventually arrested a total of 13 people. Bayshore has since implemented a daily curfew for anyone under the age of 18. They are now required to have an adult.
Here's part of the other part of the problem, right? You hear what this cop is saying? You're so tough, you want to run. You're so tough, you want to run. And that's how a lot of us feel. Again, if you're a young person and you're watching this video, I'm just keeping it a band with you for real. All that tough guy stuff, right, doesn't equal anything. This is why we had for the longest time that 100 unks versus 100 YNs. And everybody said, oh, it wouldn't take 100 unks. It would take 10 aunties and 3 unks and 2 grandmas, right? Because what we mean is this: a fair and friendly fade. Part of growing up is defeat. For y'all that didn't hear what I actually said, let me say it again. Part of growing up is defeat. It's defeat. It's things not going your way and trying to figure out how to make it go your way. There being a plan B, a plan C. Sometimes you got to get down to plan X, but you still get back up, because those are the points in life that you have the actual learning that happens. So when this cop is yelling, oh, you think you're so tough, right? If you thought you could take the fade with the cop, right, then go and do it. But remember, part of being 10 toes is having 10 toes of punishment come your way too. You wouldn't have lasted. Oh, well, we'll just slide on them because we got, you know what I mean, them things. Cool. But again, having the hammer does not solve all your problems. I'm telling you right now, having a gun doesn't solve your problems. And it speaks in a society. It speaks something about you, right? When you have to pull the gun out. You got to have your little bag. You got to pull the gun out, right? You just can't take the friendly fade. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? And sorry if my language offends you, but that really makes it sound like you're right now, right?
Police broke up a...
If you're at a beach, my dude, and you feel the need to have a gun with you, listen, you're at a beach. You got a Nike Tech on. You got black jeans, right? New Balance, and a black t-shirt on. At the beach. First and foremost, motherfucker, you know you uncomfortable. You know you uncomfortable. You hot as hell. You hot as hell. You know you would love to get in that water. Quit fronting. You came all the way to the beach, drove all the way there from Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati, Milwaukee. For what? To flex? And on a bunch of other dudes? When there's so many women walking around. Still, I can't imagine being a young man and being at the beach. And I'm a big boy. You know what I mean? I'm a big dude. That's a belly you hear down there. I'm taking this goddamn Naruto shirt off. It's coming off. And I'm getting in that goddamn water. There's too many beautiful women down there. I'm finding me something. Shit. There's something for everybody. You know what they say? You out here with a gun, that sounds mad crazy. That's crazy. When I know some of y'all were burning your ass up, it just don't make no sense. Make it make sense, right? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a solution after we watch this last clip.
Police say over 50 teens were involved in the fight in the skating rink on Tiffany Boulevard. Most of them got there right around 7 p.m., but it only took a couple of hours before things turned violent.
This is the aftermath of the large fight that broke out in Boardman Saturday night. Boardman police say there were around 50 teens involved. It all started with a flyer going around social media inviting kids to Youngstown skate that night from 7 to 10 p.m. for what it called a teen takeover.
It's become a social media challenge for teens to do this. It's happened in New York, Florida, Wisconsin, a variety of different states where these flyers are posted. Kids are encouraged to show up and in some cases start problems like fights.
Sergeant Glenn Patton says they don't believe the original flyer intended to start a fight, but around 9:20 p.m. the brawl broke out inside Youngstown Skate. 2 officers who were already on scene requested backup from other nearby departments, and they used pepper spray on the group.
2 officers on scene are confronted with a large group that's actively engaged in fighting. That was the first thing they did to try and stop the fight, to make sure None of the bystanders were injured, and nobody involved in the fight was hurt.
From there, the crowd dispersed across nearby parking lots. Patton says the kids ranged from 12 to 17 years old. He says things like this could be avoided by parents taking action.
Know where your kids are.
The issue isn't the gathering, right? It's not the group of people getting together, or it's not that, hey, they sent a flyer out and kids got together. That's not the problem. The problem is what happens after. So there's a destination point, and a lot of times it's a destination point with nothing to do. What we saw in that previous video is there was a destination point with something to do. Let's take out the 10% of kids that want to go there and fight. So that other 90% of kids are what? They're bored. You need structure, whether that's music, the car show, vendors, get local content creators to come out, right? And do shout outs for people or whatever it is. There has to be something there. Now, this is where you're going to have to be like, okay, I got to bite one, but you need support. And in that support framework, there's three things that I would do. One, the authorities. Yep, 12. So that's either going to come in off-duty police officers that have kids your age that you know of, and I know you know somebody, right, to help put together security for your event, or getting outside security. That's it's a support system that you can't go without. You just can't. And you're going to have to fill out the right paperwork, right? So now imagine that the police swarm your event, but you've got the right paperwork in place. You've got at least a couple of adults there doing security or in vendor stands that know what's going on. They're going to leave you alone because you also have the right paperwork, right? White works, same crowd, same coordination, but now there's a purpose and there's accountability, right? Here's the other thing. You look at the bigger picture. You don't need permission to create culture. That's what these kids are looking for. Something that they can identify with. You need direction. So if you take anything from this video, just remember this section right here and watch it again and share it so that hopefully somebody does something with this information I'm trying to give you. Here's a challenge. A small group could change their local scene. I've seen what these kids in Detroit are doing and with the adults that are there. And I would like to personally find out who these adults are so we could try to support them as best as we possibly can. Not even if it's monetary, but more so with like our prayers and our thoughts so that they know to keep it up, right? Something that we could do. Hey, saw you on this video. Want to know I'm throwing my support out there from Ohio or from Georgia or from Texas or wherever it is. Because sometimes for the kids, what we really need to do is just be a support system. That's it. I also want to tell young people, I know I've been clowning in this video a little bit. Some of the stuff that y'all do is kind of ridiculous and it deserves to be clowned. But in all seriousness, you're already bringing people together. My question to you is this. What are you going to build with it? Hopefully, next summer, we keep the Nike Techs at home. It's your boy, the King of the Ghosts, your favorite uncle on the internet.